Hey folks, welcome to Playing in Traffic. Today's episode is, well, first off, welcome to Super Bowl week. We're here. I'm recording this February 4th, Tuesday. So we got a handful more days before the Eagles finally return to the Super Bowl and, of course, win it. And that being said, again, thoughts and prayers going out to my old neighborhood in Northeast Philly, dealing with that plane crash, which is really outrageous and crazy to think about. And okay, all that being said, yeah, I'm saying we're, and I'm going to show her shortly. We have BRAXYB with us today, and I'm showing BRAXYB, and of course my audience, kind of like typical residential Atlanta neighborhood. I'm currently on Astoria. Astoria turns into Krog. As you enter the Krog Street Tunnel, we'll take a peek at that. That's been on my channel. As a matter of fact, it was on my channel a few days ago. But yeah, just take a peek at this because I think it's charming and it's very pretty. So, is it Astoria Avenue or Astoria Street? I'm not really sure. We're going to figure that part out, but here we go. So here we are at Gaskill and Astoria Street. I just want to show everybody, like, it's the uniqueness of their residential. This is kind of a similar vibe, like through Atlanta. The different neighborhoods in Atlanta have a lot of, there's just a lot going on. I mean, and for me, I guess that's something that really has always interested me, yeah, was how people live. You know, and whatever the case may be. And this is no different. Actually a whole lot different, having grown up in row homes in most of Philly. I don't think there's many neighborhoods in Philly that don't have a majority of row homes of some kind. And where I was raised, and where pretty much BRAXYB was raised, were brick row homes, and they just went on and on and on and on and on for tons of square mileage. And it's just kind of cool to like see, especially when you talk about density of population. It's like people are like, well, Atlanta city is not as populated as, say, a bunch of other cities, but it's also because they're not, from what I've seen, they're not stacked. They're not stacked like row homes are up in the Northeast. And of course, specifically speaking of Philadelphia. Completely different dynamic. And it's very cool. And this is all Astoria. Look at the little tiny little street over here. This looks like it's called Molly or something. Are you serious? That'd be an interesting name for a street. It is. And it's one of our little cross streets. And this is in the city of Atlanta. The east side, I should be stating more specifically. The east side of Atlanta. Look at this plantage. Very pretty. So that was wild. Just randomly look and notice that. Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. That is absolutely amazing. The front of the house. But yeah, in passing, not only they got this cool retro Coke machine on the front, there was also a looked like a concrete shark in the backyard, which was really very, very nice. Okay, and this is, yeah, Astoria leading up to the Krog Street Tunnel in the distance. I don't know, I was just driving, the times I do drive around Atlanta, I'm actually like, I think it's really special if you, I mean, I feel special about where I was born and raised, and this definitely looks special to me. A lot of A-frame little, they're not even little, man, they're probably gigantic homes. Just with a lot of character, I like to say. A little bit of mural, a little bit of graph. And you know, I'm going to support shops with murals and craft or the exterior art. I'm going to say from the, well, the look at that with that old Paps Atlanta sign right there, you can see it. Are you a bar? I can't really tell. But that sign's dope. There's BRAXYB back there. She's contemplating what mural to use as a backdrop as she showcases whatever her books. And visit BookBabe 215 on Instagram for the very best. And the content of the books, I'm sure, is lovely. The covers are lovely. And then, of course, the backdrop is going to be absolutely very pretty. Go check it out at BookBabe 215 on Instagram. So yeah, this is the East Side Beltline. I was just here the other day, kind of filmed a good deal of the graph and murals, but let's do it again. Yeah, East Side Beltline. This is going to go straight down to Astoria, and that intersection, make a right, go through Krog Street Tunnel, and then make a left outside the tunnel, and the East Side Beltline continues right from there. Okay, and this is the trail. This is the first time I've ever actually been on this part of the Beltline, East Side Beltline, but not too far up ahead. It basically connects to the historic 4th Ward skate park, which is a place that I've definitely seen and have filmed. And maybe that needs to be in the oh God, look at this. Are you serious? Let's go. Yeah. So I think with a lot of the focus on my channel when I'm traveling around to whatever city is basically street art. It's really refreshing to see another version of it with these sculptures, and they're all kind of lining the opening of this part of the East Side Beltline. What I wonder is what came first. This, the actual walkway and path, or the residential and retail and, you know, and the restaurants and stuff. That's makes me wonder. Makes me wonder. The foodery selection along the Beltline, and I've established this when I was on the West End Beltline. It is almost like just come over here, burn a little bit of calories, and then add them on real quick, because they have plenty of options. But today, as promised, in my last episode, I'm taking BRAXYB to the one and only Krog Street Market. And I'm gonna try to get some vid in there.
The users
and
to
see
log
and then see we'll see what's what with that. And do a very intense food review in there.
You don't even do food reviews.
I don't. Wait, are you trying to say I don't have a sophisticated palate?
What I'm saying is,
Let me hear. Go ahead.
you're greedy.
Yes.
Most things make you happy. So if it tastes good, you can be like, it tastes good.
Yeah, I do that, and I've already done that in the past. Look, it's either, I like it.
Only
And
thing
I
you
just leave it at
ever
that.
really might complain about is portion size.
Yeah. So we're gonna stop in the Krog Street Market and maybe get some vid in here. But man, oh man, this area, like most areas on the Beltline, is really freaking mind-boggling. A lot build up around a path and trail, and it's the growth. I mean, look, I'm talking about growth like I have any idea what kind of growth. Here's another thing getting built over here in the process anyway. But yeah, a lot going on. And the other day I actually was riding the one wheel right along, where's my finger? There it is, right along here under this little bridgey thing, overpass type thing. And now we get to see it from this side. It's yeah, right there. What was your initial vibe when you walked in? What did you think?
A tiny Reading terminal.
There you go, a tiny Reading terminal, smaller
Not
version.
tiny, small.
Yeah, smaller version of Reading terminal. And now me, I mean, I love pizza, so we're already looking at pizza situation. Decided to get in line at Fred's Meat and Bread. And the interesting thing about the whole name of this place here is the bread part. Because what we haven't really found in Atlanta is good bread. What do you think about that?
Yeah, because the bread doesn't seem, I don't know, it's not the same as really, like, even like a sub place, I just feel like it was breaking apart. I don't know.
Yeah, so we're gonna see how that plays out. At Fred's Meat and Bread. Let's go. Get some garlic fries. BRAXYB got a roasted turkey, right? And Mike M got a burger stack. So we're gonna reassess. I might have to go back. I'll have to get a clip of the sign that says the greatest cheesesteak is no longer in Philadelphia. Like, yeah. And being I'm such a mature individual with my commentary, I'm just going to say this. If you haven't literally been up there and have eaten like 20 to 30 different steaks from different restaurants, it probably isn't enough. 30 is probably not enough, but like, do me a favor and just, that's just, it's cheap heat. You know what I mean? And that's the way I look at it. It's good heel work, but it's fake. So don't say that. We're going to close this video out right here with the following. So I totally agree with your assessment of it being like a little, just a smaller version of Reading Terminal, which is awesome because they have everything in there.
Yeah. It's like you only did one square in Reading Terminal. And I don't care, like a weekday, it still is like blown out. And here, you can still find seating. You can see your people wasn't like crowded. There was no line in the ladies' room, you know.
Now, Fred's Meat and Bread. I had a burger. I thought the burger was good. I don't really think people can mess a burger up, but it's rare. But what I'll do is I do use Google reviews quite often. So it's funny. Two Philadelphians, right, lifelong,
me a whole lot more years. Here's the observation. Until further notice, bread down here is different.
It is.
So when they say that the best pizza's in New York City, there's a reason why they're saying that, because the water is different. So I think, so as quick as you get to Philly, is there good pizza places in Philly? There are. There are ones that, you know, because you're always looking for the best pizza place in your area. It is what it is. The bread down here is a challenge. And I think that even the
I
way
just
they
feel
make...
like we're, you know, like if you're getting a hoagie roll, you are expecting it to stay as a roll, not to break apart and open up like sandwich bread. Like,
Yeah.
it just, I don't know. The texture is different. I feel like it goes stale faster. I don't know.
Yeah, so the whole point is like, so they have their sign in there. It's apparently a review from Bon Appetit that the best cheesesteak is no longer in Philly. Well, I'm gonna get that. I am going to get their cheesesteak. They're not going. I already know they're not. The one person who was in the Google review asked them to pull the bread out, and they said they're not doing that.
Oh, some people like their roll gutted.
Yeah, but they're not. But they're not going to do that. So I don't know how made to order this thing's going to get. One thing I did notice is that they don't automatic. Everyone down here wants to throw a damn green pepper in every cheesesteak.
Not down here. Almost every other place.
Okay, well, you know, now that we live in the area, but yes, so that I can literally say, do not put green pepper on my cheesesteak. That's I don't want it, and it shouldn't be standard anything. You know, if you want to order it and have it put on there, that's fine. So I go into the Google reviews. They didn't. They're just saying it's ribeye, cheese. I don't even know if they're giving you a choice of cheese. I think it said American cheese and onions, but there is no green pepper on the menu.
I'm American cheese. You prove.
Maybe, yeah. So maybe you can add green pepper, but at least they're not automatically putting it on. But the reviews, yo, there's a couple people in the review. The one person reviewed, it is the best cheesesteak I've ever had. This Korean cheesesteak, and you're like, does your cheesesteak place up in Philly have a Korean cheesesteak in order to compete with Atlanta making a Korean cheesesteak? I wouldn't even be comparing that item
I'm saying
with anything from
and what
Philly.
I think is, obviously we're talking about it cheesesteak because we're from Philly, but I feel like even deep dish pizza that's from Chicago, pizza from New York. I think people try to do that hot button of like, oh, this pizza is better than so and so, and then because cheesesteak is Philly's food, people say that. I'm like, you might do a good version of it, but it ain't it. It ain't it. It's not authentic. It's never going to be it. Stop.
It isn't.
So when we went up and I saw the sign, I was like, what? But luckily a restaurant, magazine said it. They didn't say it because, we would have been like, nah, we out of this line.
Yeah.
So I, of course, said something about being from Philly, and I do have my art history shirt on.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, do you want to try that? I said, no, I do not.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to be rude, but I'm like,
That was great.
what I want your cheesesteak for? And then
That
you're
was
playing in
great.
my face during Black History Month, offering me a dumb cheesesteak that is not authentic.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Sorry.
So like you go into Google reviews, and not only is there the one person comparing their Korean cheesesteak to anything they had in Philly, that was odd to me. The other one that was odd was the guy going, they had a lot of nerve with the sign over the cash register saying this is the greatest, the greatest cheesesteak's no longer in Philly, it's in Atlanta. The guy goes, they got a lot of nerve doing that when the bread's, it's not even moist like it is in Philly. And it was like, with the two of us were like, wait, did you just say moist? So even people like who are dogging them for their cheesesteak that's not as good as, that's the best cheesesteak, dogging them for that, they're also claiming Philly has steaks that are just, that are gross.
That's what I want to know. So like the lady that said, oh yeah, because I tried all the popular places. Where were they? List them. Tell me where you got your cheesesteak from. Because
So that's obviously Gino's, and what's the other one? Pat's.
Where
And most
I don't-
people don't go anywhere near that.
I'm gonna
Philly
say
people don't go
this.
near that.
I feel like I'm going to trust what my sister says about a cheesesteak down here because my sister is from Philly.
Yeah.
And there used to be a place in the West End that made a decent one. It was on a smaller roll. She's like, yeah, that was pretty good. Well, she's gluten-free now, so and that place is not there anymore. But I'm like, I don't really want to hear it. Even when people are like, oh yeah, I'm from Philly. It's like, when was the last time you were back? Like, how long have you been here? Did you live there from the ages 2 to 6 and then you came here? Because people, if you're somewhere else, you're not really going to know that it's not it, right? If I was from here and I saw that sign like, oh, it's even better than Philly, I'm like, whoa, and I'll eat it because I know that's that city's food.
Yeah.
And then you go to Philly and you're like, oh yeah, that's not the same.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to close this video out after we just had our rant.
I'm sorry.
And, okay, folks, thanks for watching. Have a great day and a pleasant tomorrow. And if you're up in the Philly area when you have the cheesesteak, your next cheesesteak, just think of us. Because we're not.
If you are from there, put where you like your cheesesteak from.
Yeah. Yeah. See, now me, I would send them. I'd go, here's my 5 against the cheesesteak that's better than anything in Philly, and I would put Carmela's, I would put Angelo's, I would put John's, I'd put Castor Pizza because that's our local. That was our local one in the neighborhood, and I'll find a 5th one. I like Steve's. I know some people kind of dump on Steve's. I do think Steve's is pretty good too, but that's my vibe right there.
used to make a really good cheesesteak.
Yeah, it is what it is.
When I was living up near Cheltenham Mall.
Yeah. Okay. It is what it is. All right, folks. Have a great day. I'll see you next episode. We got a real good one coming up. Matter of fact, I'm going to go.
I'm in it?
Well, you're going to be probably filming it because we'll see. It's more food. There's a food vibe going on. And yeah, no, I'm not. I'll let you. You'll know when you see it. All right, later.